I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and apologies for the delay. Had some technical difficulties to resolve, but we're here. Myself and my special guest, Nicolas Basty, with whom you might be more familiar with his BGA screen name, Ever, Ever, Ever. Hi, Nick. Great to have you on stream.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Alrighty, so we probably have a little bit few less time than normal to discuss all the things in advance. So let's just have a look at the brackets and make some predictions, have some pre-games discussions. So this is something that's called the previous round. Really, it's the round of 12, the first playoff round. So stakes are high. Whoever loses, I would say goes home, but this is the online championship, so I guess stays home. So does the winner, but with a bit more positive emotion. So Netherlands playing Catalonia. Whoever wins gets to face Portugal. Portugal won Group D, so Portugal gets to skip this round and get into the top 8 for free. Now, Netherlands and Catalonia, I'd say that the strengths are pretty similar, but what would be your prediction, Snake? Do you think this match has a favorite?
Um, I'm going to say historically, but that doesn't mean too much because the history of Carcassonne online is quite recent. But historically, I would say Catalonia is better. But I think as the let's call it the mind sport gets more democratized, I think the level in other countries kind of is catching up, and this is like very visible now in this bracket. For example, Spain and United States and maybe Netherlands like a year or two ago um, would have been a bit of, and Chile as well would have been quite surprising to to do very well. Um, so yeah, I think if I had to pick, I would say 3-2 Catalonia, but we'll find out. Yeah.
I have a similar feeling as well. Even though the Netherlands have Catalonia slightly outrated, and we're gonna talk about something like this, I think there's a bit of a psychological advantage of Catalonians being the organizers, even though these are not the same people who are the organizers and who are not the team. Just Catalonia is, I don't know, they just find a way to win those crucial battles. Some of you might remember their match against France in the European Championships back in autumn when they won an unbelievable match 3-2. Of course, with a bit of help of the French player. There was a decider match between the French player with the screen name Blitz and I forgot who that was. Um, from Catalonia. I think it was Carolina Garcia. Yes, and basically there was a tie, and all the French player had to do in order to win the match for France was to place one city tile in his city, and he just placed it somewhere else, and the game was tied. But because the French player went second, the game in the duel and the game in the and the victory in the match went to Catalonia. That was spectacular. They just seem to find these rabbits out of the hat. Anyway, but of course we don't want to um, call it too early. We've seen many surprises, and what I am for sure is that the result is going to be 3-2 in somebody's favor. So before we um, pick a battle to watch, let's just go through the lineups. For Team Netherlands, with the screen name Zwollywood, we have one of their masters. It's Gert Versteeg, if I'm going to use an Americanized pronunciation, as I tend to like to do. With the screen name Bexy, we have a well-known player and the captain, Patrick Beckenut. By the way, on table 2, we're going to see the Battle of the Captains, so I suggest that we watch that at some point. On table 3, we have Ivan Bell, well, with the screen name Bell Ivan, and on table 4, with the screen name Gottfried von Bullion, we have Mark Galestine, and on table 5, with the screen name John Nordwijk, which looks like a first name and last name. It's actually John Van de Hulst, I think. Then, as always, I tend to forget something, so I forgot the real name of the player with the screen name Kasum Lola, but I do remember all the others. So Pronam Feble is the highest rated player on Catalonia's lineup and also the captain. Her name is Nuria Casanovas. Freddie Wolf. I also just forgot for a second. I had it checked 5 minutes ago. Anyway, I'll have to look in the stream, but I'm gonna call them Freddy for that. And then of course we have Dani Garcia with the screen name Danny SVH, and La Nova Era Eduard Yorca, whom I'd call probably the second strongest player on the lineup. As the match is underway, do you have a preference whom you'd like to watch, Nick?
Yeah, I guess the match with Prononce Faber is probably going to be one of the most entertaining. She's a very good player, and I think she's currently I don't know how the Catalan championship works, but I think it's in 2 rounds, and I think she's currently first at the end of the first round, so she's probably the one to watch. So yeah, maybe if we start with that one and then see maybe if we look at the Bollywood game, because he's a strong master, so could also be very entertaining.
Already hope we gets a chance to view too, and already the stream seems to be going okay, because the big accomplishment for today, I didn't forget to remove the championship bracket, so it's not covering the game. Already, well, the players seem to actually take their time, which is great. The opening battle's not over. We see Nuria with an early meeple, early field meeple, and Patrick already equalized it on the right with his yellow meeples. Patrick has a vulnerable road for 3 points, has a decent monastery for 4 points, which is about to become a 5-point monastery. I'd place that tile there in a heartbeat. However, red does seem to have the advantage, just because of the 8 points on the scoreboard and 2 spare meeples.
Yes, nothing to add here. That's exactly right.
Well, now if you're red, you're facing an interesting choice. That city starts looking very tasty on the left. On the other hand, it is quite vulnerable. It is blockable from both sides, and 2 starting tiles have already been played. So this means that only 2 are remaining. And all you need is a little piece of road over here and a little piece of road over here to make sure that the city never gets completed, which is probably the reason why Patrick did not place a meeple himself. But then the question is, given that this square is already vulnerable, and it's already yellow has already committed a road to this square, does red take the city here? And Nuria chose not to do that, but what have you done, Nick?
Maybe I would have placed it, yeah, as you said, to kind of initiate the starting tile block.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, yes, of course. I like your idea actually much more, because it seemed to me that this is a move that just starts a city, whereas a dual purpose move was possible. In the meantime, let's say hello to everybody on the chat. Wait, I have too many tabs. I'll be right back with you. Hi Himanshu, hi Arab, hi Craft Your Rev, hi Karkinyolis. My mouse! That's interesting. Ay, thank you for pointing that out.
So many moves are happening.
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah, the move I suggested in hindsight would have been very good now.
Just a second, I'll get everything back. Oh, okay. Ay, 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 ay. Right, not everything going according to plan, but that's all right. How did that happen? Alright, I know what we can do. In the meantime, maybe you can comment based on the sound, you can feel what kind of moves they make.
I mean, I have the game open myself, so you won't recognize the game when you come back. A lot of has happened.
Really?
Yeah. So it looks like. So the city on the left of the monastery, yeah, I probably would have done that too. Is getting quite juicy, but then with the added advantage to yellow that by completing the city, it will also help the monastery. So kind of less of an incentive. There was a move when red could have joined the city with that triple city tile, but chose to start a city on top of the monastery. And now, okay, she gets to the good tile, but then there's okay 3 of the. Oh yeah. Okay, but now this is a very very dynamic game, high variance as you like it, I guess.
Of course, usually entertaining, but that's okay that we missed parts of it. The match is long. Well, maybe not if they play this fast.
Yeah, so now they both have 1 meeple in hand, but yellow can get 1 back with 2 of the roads, and red can get 1 back with some city tiles. Yeah, I don't know. I think whoever, if yellow gets a oh okay, if yellow
Yeah.
gets a triangle, will definitely finish the city and place a farmer.
Sorry, I just keep losing the game, but keep talking, please.
And
Why does it keep happening? Oh.
huh. It's also there's a very interesting spot to the right of the monastery that is just kind of waiting for another monastery to be put there. So whoever, okay, I guess if yellow gets a monastery, I don't know if they would commit their last meeple to that. But if red gets a monastery, it should definitely do it. Okay, and now, so there's 1, 2, yeah, so that city will be completed. So there's going to be a interesting battle for the field, which just based on how many meeples each player has, I would say red is going to get.
Yeah, you keep saying things. I'm gonna for the first half of the stream, I'm gonna try to get the game back up again. Why does it do that?
It's like when you watch Netflix and you take the subtitles for hard of hearing people and hard of seeing people, so I have to describe everything.
Exactly, you're gonna try to be very, very imaginative over here.
Okay, now you can see there's a 3, possibly 4 city field on the right, and then on the left-hand side there is a 2. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That she should be doing is to place a farmer there, because both the road monasteries are still in, so there's a chance of a super field happening, and even if not, the farmer that she placed, the red player, can still go into the main farm even without the road monastery if you get kind of a straight road and then a straight road or a curve to finalize the big kind of walk around, which would eventually make a hamster spot for the monastery. But yeah, I think this looks very good for red now. I don't know what yellow should focus on. Okay, and yellow gets the monastery, but because of the meeple shortage, can't do it. A while ago, yellow also got another starting tile. Maybe it was the last one, and didn't choose to finish the road, which I maybe would have done. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think this looks pretty dire for yellow now. Yeah, and having to throw away that tile must hurt. Okay, so now this city will get completed, and yellow will get one more meeple back. So I mean, I'm guessing, I'm hoping. Otherwise, I don't know what could be thought about here. Yeah. Okay, so now I think yellow will probably try some field entry, I guess, on the. Oh yeah, very nice. That's exactly what I was saying earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. So now yellow has to probably go to the left. Yeah, and take a farmer.
But also yellow has to do something about that red city on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
I mean, just too many threats. And also yellow was forced to use the straight line, uh, to instead of finishing his road. It just looks like there are too many threats, and
Yeah,
well,
and there's still some field entries for red. Uh, yeah, yeah. That roads. I guess both roads are kind of proving not to be not to be too too good decisions. Mm.
right.
But yeah, now, sorry, you go.
No. As far as I understand, people are saying that we can't see the mouse. This one, okay. I think if I try to solve that, we're gonna lose the game again. It's definitely in my. It's definitely. I don't know. Triple checked it's in my settings. So I'm just gonna be try super descriptive, and and see how that works.
Yeah.
So just gotta remember to never use the word over here today. By the way, so we already have questions from our viewers. Ever, where does your nickname come from?
The name that I normally use in all kind of online settings was already used, and it started with ever, and then it was just like, hey, I'll I'll triple that, and I don't know. I guess I didn't give it too much thought. I didn't think it would become a super intense Carcassonne player, so there we are.
Did you double that at first before tripling, or did you just go the full hog straight away?
Uh, no, I at some point I had to make a second account to like message someone who had red thumbed me, and for that I used everevever, but I just have that as a people blocking me account. Um,
Speaking of blocking, a very painful block just occurred
mm,
because this road that yellow could not have the time to finish will now never be finished because there are no tiles that fit in this hole
yeah,
created by red over here. And interestingly, now yellow could have tried to block the monastery in response, but also yellow needs to attend to the city, so yellow chose to do this instead. However, the problem still persists. There are two tiles that fit in the city, and as soon as yellow gets a city cap, okay, yeah, not a good start. As soon as red gets a city cap, red will close the city. Will close the city on the right. The red will place the city cap right at the bottom right, which is why I guess yellow is trying to prevent her from doing that by claiming yet another monastery.
I guess this monastery would put it on the top left of the road monastery because there's like four curves left,
Indeed.
and a road monastery,
And
so
one
there's five.
monastery with the road looks almost like
So
an automatic move because
yeah,
otherwise this spot would be too vulnerable. the monastery is still blockable
Yeah.
if you place a city tile or something,
Yeah.
and that's why she chooses to do just as you said. Maybe she's watching the stream. Now, interesting choice for Patrick over here. Just
Yeah,
chooses
now,
to simply finish his road, although there were alternative. Could have started another monastery, could have just taken 3 points for a road, but Yellow probably figured out that winning this 15-point field, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities on the field, actually 18-point field, is one of the possible win conditions. And if only Yellow manages to block Red City, get a third meeple on the field maybe, and then try to block the other field connections, Yellow might win despite his nominal meeple disadvantage. Yes, Yellow is currently at the meeple advantage, but I'm saying nominal meeple disadvantage because his monastery is likely to never get finished. His road will never get finished for sure, whereas even though Red has fewer meeples at the moment,
it's many 3 points.
yeah, I think maybe Patrick got a little bit too impatient here. There were still plenty of curves remaining. For example, Patrick could have used this one to connect. Instead, this connection cost him dearly. Not only did he lose 2 potential points from a literal road, he also gave his opponent 5 points. So it's a connection that cost Yellow 7 points, and it probably could not be enough. And look at how Nuria is playing. Instead of continuing her city, she chose to pre-build a 5-point road, and she also got one of the 2 remaining triple city tiles with the road. But Patrick, just about time, blocked the monastery and the Red City at the same time. Now Red is about to obtain a meeple advantage because her monastery meeple is probably coming back. Yellow's monastery meeple is not coming back. It's trapped together with the Red City meeple, and as I said before, Yellow road meeple is not coming back, but there are only 3 curves remaining if I'm mistaken. Yes, I'm not mistaken. There are 3 curves remaining. Only 10 tiles remaining though. Not many field connections. Alright, Nick, I've noticed that you're generally very good in endgame scenarios. I would say this is your main strength as a player. Do you see some miraculous win for Yellow here?
So Red has 4 points more, but then there's the kind of mini battle between the city and the monastery, which is 11 to 7. So that's +4, so already +8. -2 for that road that goes nowhere. 6 + 8, 14. So Red is ahead 14, and the field is worth 18. So she doesn't even need the field to win, right? So if she gets a curve, then she gets 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 points for the road, +1 from the monastery. So I don't know. I think a curve is like almost a guaranteed win for her, to be honest. Unless, yeah, I wouldn't. And Yellow probably is thinking about kind of Hail Mary field joining from the tile that was just placed, the city road. But you just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a Hail Mary from that angle, and then otherwise you can try and start somehow.
Are you talking about the opportunity to join from the right with a curve?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but this is like the only one I can see right now to actually join somehow.
But it looks
like,
so blockable, so
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's a Hail Mary. But I don't know if there is a winning condition. There's a 6-point field at the bottom, yeah, which I guess that's a good idea.
Because because you might hope for maybe 1 more city cap, so it becomes into a 9-point field. You get 4 extra points. Then when this means that with 1 meeple you're already scoring 13 points, which is not quite 18, but at least
this was a good defensive move now. Yeah. Okay, but Yellow keeps getting the curve, so
So yellow
Mhm.
gotta create some field connection. I see one opportunity. Place it
Yeah.
above the monastery. Above the monastery, either on the left or better to the right. Above the red monastery, hoping for another curve so that with the same move you can block the monastery and also drop a field meeple. This is the only chance
Or
that I see.
at the bottom next to the ruin, there's a if you put the road there facing up, like pointing upwards, and then hoping for another road to kind of like scoop it in, but it's blockable from the right, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, but is there even a tile left for a field connection? All right, Patrick is watching the stream, and
Oh, this one was
Nuria
left.
does not. Well, Nuria decides not to defend, just takes 4 points.
Oh yeah, so now if he gets okay, he doesn't get it, but I guess he
No,
could
not the one. Okay, but at least it's 3 points. It's something.
potentially leaving 5 points. Oh, okay, so yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. Actually, red just for kicks could have calculated the remaining tiles, and if there were 100% chance, she could have dropped the field meeple
I mean,
herself.
now maybe is there a curve left for the last Hail Mary? But I don't think it will be enough.
There is a curve left, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah,
7, 8. Yeah, there is a
yeah.
curve.
So he could go for it, but I don't. It would just give him 18 points, and on the board is already, yeah, that's a win for red.
Yeah, I guess red managed to win by just creating different threats on different side of the board. So because yellow had urgently to reconnect on the field, yellow was not able to complete his road. As a result of that, lost one meeple, and then
Yeah, I think at some point yellow was a bit too greedy. Had a starting tile that could have been used to finish that road that was blocked. When I don't remember, but I think he was very short on meeples there, so maybe that was a turning point. And then also the as I was describing my idea, red placed the move with the field farmer with the next to the road monastery, so that was a good move. Um, yeah.
by the way, it turns out that the field connection was live because there's still one regular curve remaining, and this was tile that now the tile that Reds
Mm.
got was not a
Yeah,
blocking tile. So, but I guess
yeah, but it wouldn't have made a difference.
exactly, yeah. So then there isn't a motivation to risk necessarily.
Yeah, so when you were asking like, hey, what would you do here? It's like it's something that I've kind of only I would say like gotten better at recently was to in the last 5 or 10 moves in the game, you just kind of take 30 seconds or a minute to count. Yeah, if you actually need to do something crazy to win or not. And then as I'm guessing Red did here and realized that all you needed to do was to defend and and did it beautifully and yeah, so
Exactly. I like Red's move very much, equalizing that field, realizing there was still one city cap remaining, so that um, she denied mm, yellow that +7 move by completing a city. Speaking of good news, I don't know, that's a lame segue, doesn't matter. It appears that my cursor is now viewable. At least I move it like this. But at least I can see it in my software. I hope you guys can see it too. Yes. Okay, so it took us only about 20 minutes to get in properly, but I hope since things are now going better, both for Team Catalonia, if you're for Team Catalonia, and for our stream's technicalities, then be sure to meeple the like button and drop a farmer on the subscribe button. It would really help the algorithm and would cause Nick and myself to experience some positive emotion. Let's refresh the game and pick whom you'd like to watch. Shall we
Um,
continue with this pair? They seem to be quite dynamic. Or shall we look at Gert Versteeg's games?
um,
Zwally.
so okay, so I think they're both pretty fast. So maybe if we switch over to the other one, just for a bit of variety.
Probably. Plus 21, Nuria 1. So indeed, as you said, an 18-point field would not have been sufficient. So,
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
turns out that unfortunately for yellow, he was at 0% for about the last 15 tiles. That's one blocked meeple indeed made a difference, as it does make a difference in open positions.
Okay, so it's Bollywood versus Casamignola is already quite advanced, 20 tiles or so played already.
But it's only
There's
3 minutes in.
yeah, that's how you know there's a master playing. Okay, so now I'll probably take a no, not take a farm. Okay, so there's a interesting city at the bottom with a huh,
Yeah, kind of that needs some attention from Reds, I'd say. However,
yeah.
there's also you also kind of want to clean up the city cap. I'd say that's pretty important. I can see that Red might be considering something else. But then also, the reason why I like the move with a city cap, it also creates a 9-point field that you can take with tempo. When you take that field in the next move, then you also get to attack the vulnerable green meeple. Because as you see, this is a starting tile, the cap with the road, and there's already 3 of them used. So this will be a game where blocking will be quite significant, just because city meeples with the roads sticking into them are becoming increasingly vulnerable, much more than normal in this game. So is that their second game, Nick?
Yes, so Bollywood won by 30 points the first game, I think.
Alrighty, we're
Unless
getting
it's already
updates.
maybe it's the third game, but I guess I would be surprised.
We're getting
Um,
updates.
oh yeah, this is the second game.
So Zwali 1, Nuria 1, and Gottfried lost. And John 1. So going quite even so far.
Okay, so chooses the field over the monastery. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think that was a very good move, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Have you seen the
Yeah,
stream
and now
with Marian? Because I had Marian Kurkan as my special guest last time. And he,
yesterday, or yeah, last week, yeah.
yeah, and he told a very interesting thing. He
Oh, I was
said,
playing. So
"Oh,
no, I didn't
right,
watch it,
right,
but
yeah, yeah."
I watched it later. Yeah,
And you see, so that's the kind of tempo move that I was talking about. Now, Zwali kind of needs to urgently save his city and cannot re-attack the field on this turn at the very least. Yeah, so Marian said that the player who draws the monastery first sort of wins the opening battle very frequently. So just to show you how much master players value the monasteries, and here we are, some people just treat them as patches of green.
yeah,
Sometimes
I
it's
think
necessary, but
yeah, I don't think it was necessary there. Both players had like 4 or 5 meeples, and the field. I mean, yeah, I guess it also depends what you make of the map. If you want to make it a big field, which both players here obviously want to do, it will. Yeah, I'm ready to bet that like by the end of the game, like both players have like 4 farmers, if not more.
yeah, it's already
I
a
mean, yeah,
huge
there's already
field.
3. Yeah,
But of course, it benefits more green than red, I would say, because green's meeple are less vulnerable. So if you look at red's ruin on the right,
it's
I
not
don't
happening.
think it's ever coming back. Whereas the roads, precarious though it may be, green's road on the left, there's still 6 crossroads remaining. So it is possible with 2 moves to get that meeple back with some 6 points. and a quest to
Yeah, then
win
you
the
don't
field
even
with a
need to
meeple
win.
advantage. Yep.
You don't even need to win the field, right? Because so here, green. So there is one of the triangle. Okay, no, more farmers. Okay, um, so that city in the middle will get completed with so like 6 or 8 points plus 4. So that's already be going to be quite a bit of a difference. So then, as long as green just holds the difference and equalizes the farm, green will win. And then the road, yeah, you can just collect points on the road. I don't know. I think red has to do something a bit more than just winning the farm.
I know what red
Yeah.
got to do. Red got to draw monasteries and meeple this time, because that's the main advantage that red has in the future tiles. With the severe meeple disadvantage, green would not be able to meeple a monastery,
Green is
whereas
lucky.
red can do this. Yeah,
Yes, so
despite the
now
risk, as you
green
said,
should
green gets the meeple back.
green should avoid or kind of try to close those monastery spots, but or make them less interesting for red to place. But yes, it looks like it's going to be like a 24 or higher point field. Okay, so now red does get a monastery. It doesn't.
Yeah, a bit of impatience, I'd say.
Yeah, it's like the game is almost over.
Yeah, because like where'd you get the points? Well, I see maybe red is hoping to block some farmers, but I just don't see that happening really.
Because yeah, even if you don't connect all the farms, wait, so there's a 3 point farm right now. Well, right now the farms look very good for red because they're all very point rich. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's like 11 to 2 right now for the farms, but
Yeah, I like that. Maybe on the other side a little bit more, but no, it works very well. And now red hopes to win the coin flip for that monastery tile.
yeah, this is very necessary now for red because I mean, so there's still 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's only a 75% chance now for that city to be completed. So it looks like red got two of those tiles since,
And green just decided to eat up more road tiles
which
because
is
there's still plenty of straight lines. Oh yeah, and green even gets his meeple back immediately, and he might even get greedy and meeple a road, and that's not the worst move.
so wait, so there's yeah, there's no, but there's still but then you're kind of giving
Do
nine
it, meeple the
points.
road. Ah, no,
Uh,
because the thing is, actually, that would have been. I mean, I guess you don't need to, but just for kicks, you can take these 3 points, knowing that somebody will place a 9 point monastery over here, and just so that you get those extra 4 road points. It's when you have plenty of meeples, it's a common technique. And now I think
It's very weird to have two complete monastery spots just ready for the taking, and there's still both road monasteries and 2 normal monasteries left. So
exactly
now
yes, but that's how red wins the game, just winning these flips.
yeah, I guess. But then like as green, you have to kind of avoid that from possibly happening, even if it's like a 25% or something. You yeah. So as you say, if you do have to, okay, so he goes
For a different flip. Actually, I kind of like that move. Maybe there was another spot, and he gets it immediately.
who's maybe
That's
that
a
that
good one.
city that
Uh,
city can get finished somehow.
well, that's a good
Is
question. Do you even go there, or maybe you
okay,
just take the straight 9 points, just to prevent your
so
opponent from taking them? Um,
2, 3, 4. So but it's let me see. There's 2 tiles that fit there, I think, or 1.
are you talking
2.
about this spot over here with the triangles? Yeah, I think there are two
Yeah,
tiles, one triangle, one divide. No, just one triangle.
are both dividers out?
Both dividers
Oh,
out.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
One
yeah, yeah.
here, one here.
Yeah, so
I don't
probably
know.
not
Still,
gonna.
still not the worst move actually. 23 tiles remaining. Um, what I have for farmers.
Yeah, but now
Yeah,
I don't think I would meeple that because just looking how the game is now, green needs to have one more meeple to commit to the farm and one more meeple to get like a free 9 point monastery somewhere. Yeah, but now red will
Point.
place it on the right and
But
farm
no.
next to the city extender, right?
Yeah, that's true. But this is where red will now drop its meeple,
Yeah.
and now this meeple on the monastery looks a little bit more useful potentially, because this is how you can counter losing the farm to red, and red is losing the farm at this point. I'm surprised he didn't. I'm surprised how quickly red
Okay, so
moved.
he can kill off the top connection, right? Because there's no more crossroads, or I
No
guess
more T-shaped crossroads, right? And the bottom
it's
connection will be extremely vulnerable as well.
yeah. So now you have to count how many. So it looks like lots of one, two, three, four. No, there's lots of roads remaining, curves. So yeah, which one would you block first, the bottom or the top?
I'd block the top, just so that you have backdoor equity of at least this 9 point meeple not getting connected, because there are already not too many monastery tiles that fit in this top spot. And even yeah, I think that blocking the other one was slightly better, just because you'd be forcing to connect for red to connect in such a way that also connects green.
Green is already connected.
No, I mean the top green meeple. It's not
Oh,
connected just yet. So technically now red is winning the. No, actually red is not winning.
well, no, now green can, yeah, do that and completely block off that farmer. Yeah,
At the
yeah, so,
expense of 4 points, but I think he can live with that. At the
yeah, so,
expense of 8 points actually, because also red gets the point, and possibly at the expense of one more meeple. So it's an even trade actually.
yeah, now if there's some caps left, if green gets a cap to finish the city, there'll be the 6 point field there that could somehow get wrangled into the top field with the road monastery. I like to think about those things. So like kind of super, like in poker, kind of like backdoor outs. If you see what I mean, there's
Yeah.
the cross city. If you put the road monastery on top of that cross city and then a curve, and then you could kind of like force in that farmer. It will take a few moves, but that's the field entry. Yeah.
Yes. I like that.
Oh, so red got lucky with both 18 free points, but oh yeah, and then that ruin. Yeah, so now, but
In the meantime, we have a comment from Illusionist Edges. Very good point. He's actually mentioning that the farm is only 6 cities, which means that it's, well, at the time of the comment, it was only 6 cities. Now it's 7, which means that it's like 2 monasteries, which is why he suggested that green take 9 points with that monastery instead of connecting to the field. But so
yeah,
we'll see if green's decision remains justified or not.
yeah, because now that ruin is like 4, 8, 11 points. Yeah, now, yeah, I
Is that
don't.
even a ruin? Is it live perhaps? Actually, I see it being live because there are 2
Yeah, there's
triangles at
yeah
least.
with the road, yeah, that green is praying for.
And also it's
Um,
not particularly blockable.
oh, okay, so now this kind of, so who owns the farm? It's equal. Okay.
I think green owns a farm now. Red
Yeah,
still has yet to connect, and red
yeah,
is running out of tiles. I think actually red might have run out of tiles.
yeah. There's no monasteries, and there's one,
One, two, three, four,
two.
five, six. Well, actually, but then green only has a 6 point advantage there. Have a look. Red
Yeah,
has
but
12
then
field points. One for 9 over here, one for 3
yeah,
over here. And
or
then green has 18. One, two, three,
no, so
four,
it's
five, six.
nine. 9
1, 2,
points.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 21. So it's 9 point advantage. I mean, of course, it's something great to
Yeah,
have.
but so now again, you say you have 9 points plus the 4 on the board, plus 1, so that's 14 or 15 points ahead. And then red has the ruin, which is 11 points. So right now, if the game were to end, green wins by 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, by 4 even, I think. And
With,
also
with with
green
this
has a
tile,
spare
there's like another
meeple.
2 points. Yeah, yeah. So now is that field connection, is that still possible? Is there a city cap? One,
I think
two.
there is one city cap. Although it is needed by red also to complete his city. All right, now
Oh, so he
I'm
doesn't.
so
Uh,
surprised. I'm also
yeah,
so surprised at
I
how
think
instantly this move was played.
I think he had to go for the all or nothing.
But then it's a question still if it was live because it's the last triangle
Yeah, because
with the crossroads.
there's still two big city with no one big city with a road. So I don't know why he did that so instantly. Or am I missing one?
Well, I guess
Yes.
it's kind of justified because he knew that there's uh, still a tile that completes this immediately.
Yeah, but so that's like 4 points more to green now.
Yeah, green just keeps racking up those quick points in an unstoppable manner.
I don't know why he's thinking here. It's pretty.
Yeah, so
Could even meeple the road, or yeah, yeah,
actually,
but yeah,
why not 4 points? I mean, you could do that if there are still quick point tiles remaining. I guess like whatever
yeah,
makes you
but yeah, he has
100%.
but he has two meeples, right? And there isn't right now on the board. There isn't 4 points that you can make somewhere. So if you end up with a meeple at the very end to get 3 points or 2 points or 3 points from a random farm, that's 1 point less than you could get right now.
That's an excellent point that you're making, because at the end of the game, we need to see what are the point scoring opportunities and whether your meeple is worth saving for. And
And
indeed,
and
it looks
and
like
green has two meeples, so and there's like one city cap remaining. So if green gets that, that's another 7 points. Yeah, I think I think this is 2-0 to Netherlands here. Okay, so he's not watching.
well, and red suddenly equalizing the farm, gaining 12 points with that move.
Okay, so now red has 3 points more from farmers
And a
at
bit
11.
more from cities.
Yeah. Oh, if green loses by like 1 or 2 points, that road
Oh,
will have been
yes.
missed.
And you see, now green doesn't know where to use this tile.
Yeah, is there a curve left? Is
There
he gonna
is
try a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is one curve left. It is
yeah,
possible to connect, but it's a 50-50. Like, do you do
yeah.
that?
The question is, does he need 50-50? Well, yeah, I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
actually 75, I think, because there is a curve with a city tile. So check this out. You put this curve on the right, you put a meeple up top, and then there's still two tiles remaining that can connect. So 75% looks like not a bad chance at all in such a situation, but maybe green has 100. I mean, green has
Yeah,
six and a
like
half minutes. Like, green
yeah.
needs to look for 100% in this situation.
So it's 8 points ahead on the board, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 15 with that ruin, minus 11, so it's plus 4, plus 1, minus that farm point. So right now it's plus 1 to green. So probably doesn't need to steal. It's a so it's plus 1 to green. It's probably counting if the field is still joinable from that city cap that was just placed. So like if there's a like you say the city with a curve and then you place a farmer on it and then if there's like another yeah, so I would probably block that city cap.
In the meantime, it appears that Netherlands got their first big point. John pulling off what I'd call a bit of an upset because to me, Eduard, the Catalan player, is really strong, winning 2-0 against La Nova Era.
Oh, really? Well,
We're
okay,
getting
so
tips from Raf that red
yeah,
is -1.
miscounted. So how is that? Wait, so +8, +7, so that's +15 from the ruin. And then red's ruin is 11. So then green is up +4. And then you remove 3 points from that one farmer. So green is up +1.
Yeah.
I don't.
So I guess green's main concern is to eliminate some field connections. But then it's
Yeah.
not until there is one move that I think there's one move and one move only that green can make. So okay, let's actually just figure out what are the remaining tiles. Let's feel ourselves like players again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's only one city cap with a curve, and that's just the kind that you need for a connection. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need. There's also one curve remaining. Now there are two other tiles. What are they? I see a triple city. So there is a triple city remaining, which red really can't use except for on the last move, scoring 4 points, maybe dropping a farmer over here and adding 1 point to his city. And what's the other remaining tile?
Is it a straight road or a...
I don't think so. I think it's a crossroads with a city cap.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, we can do this. We can still play. Crossroads with city cap with turn, regular curve, and simple triple city. Now, what this means is that there is still plenty of tiles with which we can connect. And also, I can assure you that at this situation, green does not have 100%. Green probably at best has a 75. Because here's what can happen. Green can try and block a field connection if he places the straight line over here up top, just to make sure, yeah, exactly. Make sure
Now
that
it's 4 points.
that red cannot do this.
So now red is ahead by 3, right?
Red will be ahead by 3.
But by doing that,
That's way
green,
too fast. Why would you? I mean, maybe there was something. Maybe there was something. I mean, of course, that sounds
okay,
like a reasonable move,
green
but
not lucky to get 4 points back now.
yeah. And then he'll still be at -1, and there will be just it all will depend on the
Oh,
final
but
exchange.
now the question is, are more than 4 points in this tile? No.
Oh, but now, by the way, Green must be really kicking from himself for not listening to Nick's advice and me playing that 4-point road.
Yeah, because actually, if red gets the triple city, do you want to like be defensive and like pre-meeple that farm for 3 points?
That will be amazing. So then it will be tied.
Yeah, and then you still have one meeple to get 3 points somewhere else. No, okay, so he doesn't do it. So now,
Okay, so
oh
red
no,
is at
but green wins
-1.
anyway because okay, yeah,
Oh no, because he wins the flip.
yeah.
But I don't think Green would have won anyway. Green would have lost. It would have been a tie, and Green would have lost.
Yeah.
So actually, before the last tile, it was a 50-50. They were flipping for the triple city.
Well, maybe they didn't know that they were flipping for it. It's not a very exciting tile. But
I
yeah,
mean, I don't think you can justify in the World Championship not knowing what the last tile is with 16 minutes on the clock. They knew it.
maybe not with 16 minutes.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
mean,
interesting when I play super seriously, often the result is much closer. And when I just play, I don't know, just for fun, not that I never ever play not for fun, but then I tend to get like much higher scores. And it's I guess that's like what you keep talking about is like the variance. If you if you just kind of play by ear, then you probably gonna get a lot of points. But if you like play it properly, yeah, if you win by 1 point, that's all you need. So
Exactly, yeah, because really Carcassonne is not so much about points. Points don't even matter for tiebreakers. It's just about win probabilities and how often you win games. So this is why, for example, you know, according to
it's interesting
many,
that,
yeah,
that now he's taking like 10 minutes for his move when there's like really nothing to do. He can get 3 points
yeah,
somewhere
exactly.
or
It's something
yeah.
I would be maybe a bit critical here. It's something he should have calculated before, like several moves in advance. Because I don't know if I think like if we can do this just casually observing the game, knowing what the tiles are, I'm pretty sure they can do it with 16 minutes. Oh right. I'm gonna try and be less grumpy and maybe they're worried, maybe they need to represent their national team and stuff like this. All right, I'm pretty sure what Red is thinking though is some sort of defensive placement. Maybe we can somehow block off a certain field, but it just doesn't appear to be possible because there are 3 3-point fields in the deck, and all that's left to bemoan is that the
Green
50% equity didn't quite come through.
and also that green still has 2 meeples.
But it doesn't matter. Well, I mean, green. Oh, did you mean that it's like an oversight on the part of green?
Not oversight, but as you know, I like to always place a meeple on the last move and have 0 meeples remaining. I think a while ago we played this variation where we forced each other to place a meeple on each move. I don't know if you remember. And I think
Yes.
this is kind of I think this is how I play, where I think, hey, if I place a meeple, if it gets blocked, what's the worst that can happen? How many points can I get from this one meeple? And if you think like that, um, it also forces you to think about like, hey, how many moves are left? How many meeples will I have on the last move, and so on. Which is something that really surprised me the other day. I was playing with some friends, three person Carcassonne, and by the end of the game, the game was over, and I still had like 2 or 3 meeples left. It's like, oh no, like this is a completely different game with 3 people, because the tasks get finished much quicker. But yeah, so yeah, here for example, Green knew that, or at least like let's assume Green knew that this was the last possible city to be completed, those 4 points. But then it's like, oh, do you need 4 points, or do you need to avoid that the opponent can make 3 points? Because then like you want to kind of minimize the difference of points that are available for the taking and the points that you make. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
if
but then
you
you lose.
yeah,
Because the thing is like green had only one choice. Green had to take those 4 points to still be one-headed in the scoreboard. Had green gone for the defensive placement and let's say meeple the bottom farm for 3 points, then the game would have been tied, and both players would just take 3 points on the last move. Maybe red would take a 3 point farm on the top left, for example, and red would take the farm over here, or vice versa, and then there would be a tie, and then red would have won. So actually, this is the only move that gave green a 50% chance.
I guess. Are we
Now,
sure it's tied right now?
no, I'm pretty sure that's now is at least the way we calculated this is that green is at +1.
Oh yeah.
So, and it would have been tied had green taken not 4 but 3 points. But
Mhm.
at least no, for me it's fine. Like green has a justification because green was low on time.
I was talking with like having made that move of me playing the road in mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the winning move for sure. And I think the way you do that, you notice that there are still quick point tiles on the board.
Yeah, such as there were a few city caps. So
And actually, you know what? I think knowing what the tiles are. So basically, green was much better off having the 75% chance trying to connect to the field on the right because the way Green played the remaining tile actually had to get super lucky. He had not even 50% chance, actually less, because Green drew two of Red's 4-point tiles, right? So Red could have drawn this city to give him 4 points, and Red could have drawn this triple city to give him 4 points over here. Red drew neither of those. So this is an incredibly interesting situation. I mean, had we not spoiled it, I would have made a puzzle out of this. So
Well,
even
there's
though
one.
this is so fascinating, like even though Green didn't need the farm to win, just to have the better probabilities, Green actually had to connect to the farm just to get the 75%.
And if the farmer is like a zero farmer, it doesn't matter because he's gonna have a spare meeple in the end anyway. I'm just maybe in the interest of interest, should we go to a different game? Because I'm just seeing in the chat that one game between Gottfried and Danish finished in 6 minutes. So it seems that the games are very quick. What? There was a message at 7:49, 1-1, and at 7:55, 1-2. Okay. It's like quicker than like if I play in arena and I'm not tilted or something.
Yeah. Well, hard to say. Maybe if the game lasted 6 minutes, I'm not sure how interesting it actually
Yeah.
was. I don't know. It's the last tile. Come on, let's
No,
talk
no,
about the
no.
last tile. We have
I'm
so
just
many
saying
things
like
to talk
to
about.
go to like the Porno Fabre or
Oh
whatever
yeah,
else.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. What do our viewers in the chat think? Shall we watch the last tile properly, or do we trust our calculations that Zwali is winning this by 1 point? Uh,
I mean, as long as it does the right thing, I guess. Yeah. You can still like just place a tile and not meeple it or something and lose, but doubt it will
That can
happen.
happen. That has happened to Catalonia's opponents, as I've mentioned before. I know you never know. Like you can get worried, your hands can start getting shaky. 2 minutes time trouble. You know, maybe that's Red's strategy. Like Red is trying to spend the time, hope that Green goes to the bathroom, and then Red places the tile, and then Green runs out of time. Maybe that's the hope.
Yeah, the other day I was looking at some games to prepare for something, and I replayed the game, and a player just placed a 3-point road and didn't place a meeple, and so like just didn't take the 3 points, and then the game ended with a 3-point win by that player that forgot to do it. But yeah, still can happen, and it was a World Cup game, so yeah, but no excuse for leaving 3 points in if you have 20 minutes to think. But yeah, okay. So the
Exactly.
people in chat. Okay, so Pono Fable has won 2-0.
Already.
And yeah. Okay, so is there anything else going on?
Pronom Fable. That was quick. Well, I guess let's just go back for a second, because I assume our viewers would prefer a new game, but this might as well be the last one.
I think we analyzed this one to death. So Freddy Wolf won the first one. Okay, Freddy Wolf is playing.
Oh, right. Actually, we haven't
No,
seen this player. I think we've seen a bit of Ivan Bell because he was playing against Japan, and we analyzed that game. But why not? Why not? Let me just pronom. I like how you pronounce pronom faible, like in a French accent.
I guess, yeah.
No, pronom. I guess you don't even need to say the M. Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
well,
Well, it's Carcassonne, so
I
it's a
don't
French
see.
city.
Isn't this offensive to you that like this German game they chose a French city to name it after? Why is it not called Kaiserslautern?
Well, it's you keep mentioning Dan's book, isn't it? In Dan's book that he explains that Klaus-Jürgen Frede, he went, I think he's like a theologian or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
something to do with theology, and he went on I don't know, research trip or conference or whatever in Carcassonne, and he was just so enamored by the landscape, and and then he was inspired to create a game that isn't about war, but about just building cities and building a nice landscape, and that's why he called it Carcassonne. I think that's I'm not making this up.
Well, little did he know that that there would be competitive Carcassonne. That is very very close to war, according to some people. As Vladimir
Yeah,
Kovalev said, it's a what was the wording? It's a brutal, merciless game that is fun for the entire family. That was his definition of Carcassonne.
wait,
Or,
so are we looking at the same game?
I'm looking at
No,
Bellyman
you
now,
still okay, yeah. Uh, yeah, okay.
just because we need to catch a little bit of that action.
Yeah, okay,
Um,
so Freddy Wolf won the first one, I guess. Yeah, wait. Yeah,
right,
this
chose
is
not
this is
to
the second
block
one.
the monasteries, but take the 8 points. I think there was a choice whether to block these two monasteries completely. There's still one tile remaining that with which red can finish these two nice looking monasteries at the bottom and then start a new city with the same tile.
Oh, this
But
is actually gonna
yellow
be
three points are more important, yeah?
this is actually gonna be the decider. So if Freddy Wolf wins here, they win the game, assuming that the the previous game did end in what we said it would end, because it's
Alrighty.
2 big points each. So
Well, I have to say it does not look easy for Freddy here, because you see this city over here. There are no tiles remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, yellow is never gonna get this meeple back, and until the end
that's
of the
true.
game, red is likely to enjoy a nice meeple advantage. While yellow could get this meeple back, the city on the right, and then possibly drop a farmer if that's close to the end. Then red could get this meeple back from the monastery. However, I would anticipate that red might attack it and try to block it completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still two curves remaining, but two is not a lot. Wait,
I really hope the
8.
Dutch player wins now, so then we get to have a exciting decider.
Yeah, please keep us updated about Casamlola's game.
Maybe it's gonna end on time.
Raf
Time
is
is still
saying,
ticking.
yeah, sorry. Okay, Raf is saying that Nicolas Basty also sounds French. To be honest, well, that's because it is French.
Okay, so someone in the chat has asked if people are still awake in that game.
I would assume
I
so.
guess and both people are typing. Anyway, back to the so now. Oh, so he commits his last meatball.
And a greedy one at
Oh,
that. Well, red gets an important meeple back, and it
because
looks
now
like this game favors those who enjoy more Carcassonne, because red will likely equalize the score, and then we get to watch an actual decider for
wait, so
everything.
now red is ahead by 7, -1, -2, -4, 4, +9. It's very close. So now it's very close, and red has 3 meeples. So I want to say red is winning without having done all the calculations. Oh no, I missed that yellow farmer at the bottom. So that's +6 points. Still think it's red's.
Yeah, let's also not forget the three meeples and the
Yeah,
fact
yeah,
that Ivan just drew the tile that green needed a
yellow, yeah,
lot.
yellow. Yeah,
Oh, well, at least I didn't call yellow red. That's already a bit of progress. But
it's
yeah,
green.
I meant
Get
yellow.
worse.
I meant Freddy.
Are there any other triangles remaining to finish that city on the top left? Because if not, I would probably put that starting tile there to restrict yellow city.
It's possible, yeah. Another alternative is you could just add 1 point to your monastery and pre-build a 6-point city.
Yeah, but then do you? I guess that is the question: is do you take the 6-point city or do you take the juicy road?
I'd say the juicy. Well, yeah, probably the juicy
So,
road. Yeah, so then you
so
don't
then I
really need
would,
to pre-build that city, actually.
because then it would add points to the.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would probably put it on the triangle on the top, right?
But there is at least one tile that does this. I'm saying this from memory because the same tile that fits in the monastery hole for red, this if yellow draws it, then he could actually
No. Yeah, okay.
use it for that city instead.
Was it okay? I guess he has 3 meeples, so he can take those 2 points, which I don't know. Maybe that's it now. If yellow gets the meeple back,
Santi Fradera, that's Freddy's name.
okay, so it's Hollywood won by 1 point.
Interesting. Rafa saying that Kasum Lolo played their move with 10 seconds on the clock.
Plus 10 trolling points, I guess.
Oh, look at the level of greed. Oh, so this is not going to work out because yellow drew the tile.
Yeah,
I also found it interesting that yellow chose to complete the 8-point city rather than the more vulnerable city on the right. Maybe that was the only remaining city cap. To be honest, I didn't quite calculate
because
this.
then you're creating a 6-point field, and you're only getting 3 extra points from that move. So I think that was the correct move.
Yeah, makes sense. And also, actually, it blocked the blocking square for the monastery. So there is still hope. Oh, actually, so turns out there were other options for yellow, but no, I think it's still was the correct choice. Just unfortunate for yellow that his meeple will stay there with 1 point and no 6-point field for yellow. Indeed, I guess just drop the city cap on your field somewhere. I really can't see.
I know there's 4 points at the ruin on the top right.
Am I not seeing something?
The red just placed the city extender with 2 points on top of a 3 point three city tile, right?
Oh, that's
So that's
true.
so
So
that's
do you think it's worth for yellow to spend their last meeple on this ruin and then hope that they're gonna get a curve and get a meeple back from the monastery?
it's yellow's turn. Sorry. Yeah, I thought it was red's turn.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure red will figure out what to do with their 2 meeples.
If there's no city caps left, wait on. 8. Okay, so there must be a city cap remaining. Then it's like, why didn't he put it on his field?
Yeah. In the meantime, David Bourdois is saying, "What a move from Reds, giving up the game." Which move were you referring to?
Probably me playing that city.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if it's giving up the game, but definitely it's not the optimal move because you're just risking too much. It's a 50-50 chance, and obviously when you're ahead you gotta play as if your opponent's gonna get lucky. When you're behind you gotta play as if you're the one who's gonna get lucky. But it still seems to me, I didn't count the points, but it just looks that red is gonna edge it out.
Yeah, because that farm is now you can get 1 point from the monastery, and then whatever is left at the end. Is there a one, two? Yeah, there's no more monasteries left.
Wait. Did yellow start a city when there were 0 city caps remaining?
It looks like it's yeah.
There
Well,
were 8 minutes on the clock.
I was just counting how many city caps were left, and then he placed it. So I was like, oh well, there must be one left, but maybe there wasn't one left.
Oh no, I see there are some left. Actually, 2 of them. The ones with the crossroads.
Mm.
But then, I still don't see the value because there was
Oh, so
the
now
piece
what is
on yellow's field where you could put that. You see, like right here on the left,
yeah
next to the monastery.
yeah.
So there just didn't seem to be a lot of value in connecting this. So in fact, I think not the worst move would have been meepling this ruin defensively, just so that red doesn't get it, or perhaps just dropping this elsewhere on your farm.
So now I don't know. Maybe red has this actually. If he can find the value, when there is no quick 4 points. Well, no, yeah. If he red has to now take this road and meeple it somewhere for 3 points, and then it. Oh no wait
And
no
then
no.
just add a city tile. Yeah, and then add a city tile
Well no
to his ruin.
or wait for the cross city and put it on the top and take 3 points from the road. Actually, it makes no difference.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, red is getting
No.
4 more points. Yep. And the 2 last tiles are the same. This city and then the same one that red's gonna get.
Yeah.
So I think kind of the right idea for yellow, but I think there was a better execution. Well, anyway, thanks to yellow, we're gonna have a decider game. So because Freddy won the first one, then it's gonna be tied, and that's all good for us.
Well, if it's tied, who started?
No, I meant like the match would be tied, the
Oh,
duel would be tied.
yeah.
Because already our viewers are calculating the points for us.
Yeah, I well played, great game. So I'm guessing this is a message that you don't send to someone who you just beat.
Well, sometimes that happens. I like when if you miscount the points and you think that you lose. I had sometimes like somebody being rude in the chat, accusing me of winning because of luck, not realizing that they actually had won the game.
But that's Carcassonne, right?
Yeah. That's just board game arena for you. So +3 for reds. So our viewers are being very astute. That's what they said. +3, and just what we wanted. Decider for the decider, for the duel, for the match, for the fate of the championship. Let's go.
Okay, so whoever made that comment was wrong. Red giving up the game.
Yeah, red just, I guess, having fun. Well, I think red did give up some equity there. It did seem that yellow had wins. For example, had yellow gotten the curve and yellow could have finished their monastery, or had yellow gotten their city cap earlier, or had yellow maybe placed their meeple somewhat differently. Actually, yes. Yellow should have taken that ruin. It would have done the trick because yellow could have just kept their meeple on the 4-point ruin and then added the city cap to their field without a meeple, but that would give them 3 more points. So basically the game would be, I was going to say tied, but because this ruin wouldn't be available, I think yellow had an opportunity to edge it out by placing a final courageous meeple on that ruin. But we will never know because we're gonna look at the third game straight away.
And so actually my comment was correct, but I thought it was the other player making it. But it's like, yeah, you always want to identify where the most value lies, and at that point it was that ruin. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So you just have the intuition. But we do have lots of viewers. We have 30 at the same time. Not as many likes. They're important for the algorithm, so do meeple that like button if you haven't already. I know that the stream wasn't great at the start, but now we sort of fix it. And come on, we have such a decider, you know, just the perfect scenario. Wait, it was actually true. Oh, so many games. Do you know anybody who played so many games as Ivan Bell? Yeah, it is tied indeed. So we just keep refreshing and waiting until they start.
It looks like they're having a drink break.
Oh, it's fine. That's great. Then we can just
Yeah.
talk about other stuff. So, Nick, there are many things that I wanted to ask you. Obviously, you're known as one of the fastest players, but when you played your first in-person national championship, the UK national championship, where you came third recently, you said that you played a game that lasted over an hour against Ted Lim. So I was wondering why such different approaches in person and online.
Online, it doesn't matter. It's just internet points and angry people. Lose some, win some. If you want to just kind of like get that, whatever you want to call it, adrenaline rush or play for fun, I don't think it's very fun to look at, I don't know, paint drying or watching people think for 20 minutes. So that's kind of my approach. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I do take my time when I realize that I don't know. I don't think it, it takes that much time to really identify if you're winning or losing in most situations. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's also like yeah, I don't know. I feel cornered. I don't know if I have to define myself or okay. So apparently the game has started. 1 second.
I just refreshed it. They joined, but not like they haven't made the first move just yet. They're about to, so
Yeah.
we're gonna keep refreshing.
Yeah. But yeah, so I like playing fast online, and when I'm taking the effort to travel somewhere and spend a whole day somewhere, I'm, I'm gonna take my time. And it was kind of strange because the first round there were no clocks, which I was I was like kind of when I found this out a few days ahead, I was really upset because I was like, well, no, my strength is in playing fast, and if the more time people can think, the more time they will have to figure out a good move. And if my strength is identifying good moves in a short period of time, and that kind of gets taken away from me, I was kind of upset about that. But then I was like, well, yeah, I'll just take my time too. And there were there was one game, one of my early games, where the opponent played well and got ahead by 20 or 30 points pretty quickly, and I had to think about yeah what to do, and so that was very welcome to take 20 or 30 minutes to think. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Seemed to work quite well for you, given your third place finish. Well, I love this move that Ivan that just did. I did not expect that a player with a rating below 500 would find it, but I think it's really good. And so you would think that it's possibly best to score just 2 points, but the problem what it does, had you scored 2 points, you would have to you would have to face this road into Yellow City, giving them 6 tiles that gives quick point for them. So actually, I think that red maximizing the value over here. Now probably red will get out of harm's way and continue his road, and alternatively to start and you road and start bothering yellow over here. But it looks like it's going to be a grueling opening battle, especially with this over here, this city, and yellow will be looking to block the square and gets a few points advantage in the mini battle. Well, look at you. Red's now playing, you know, like some Brazilian players, like some greedy Brazilian players whom I know. I like it.
I think it was, oh, but now, oh, don't maple it now. Now, if there's like a triple city, it gets killed off.
Well, yeah, there's still a divider, I guess. So,
Yeah, but still, and it's very.
oh, actually, I do agree. Maybe that is the first misstep. Possibly that wasn't the safest city because it allowed red to make a tempo move with this straight line, threatening both the little road meeple
Yeah,
of
I think it was a
yellow,
terrible.
and yellow chose not to defend, and the city meeple of yellow as well. And I would expect Ivan just to continue the straight line and start a new city and create more vulnerable squares for yellow. So
No,
this opening battle is now, I'd say, red is the player whom I'd favor. On the other hand, 7-point monastery almost complete.
yeah, okay. So now, if red, if yellow gets a bit unlucky, I mean, there's like all but one of the triple cities left. So, I don't know, it was a bit hasty.
Well, but then he gets to make a giant ruin.
Oh, and it happens.
Okay, it happens. Yeah. Well, do it.
Well,
You have to do it.
I'm guessing. Yeah, well, it makes giant ruin, but red already has one people in it. So if red tries to join the ruin from the left and then kind of like open up a blocking platform for the road and the monastery, right?
Oh, that's a great idea. So Nick is talking about this move over here, like with a city cap or triangle or something, and then create some pressure over here. Try to equalize the ruin and maybe possibly block this square once red completes the block over here, which is really a must at this point because you just can't leave yellow with an opportunity to get his meeple back. Not like that. Not like that, right? You meant to turn it the other way, right? Wait, did I lose Nick? Of course I lost Nick. Of course something else had to happen in the stream, but we'll see that. Oh, well, yellow loses an excellent, excellent opportunity. Basically, you meeple this a monastery like this. It's not only it is a 5-point monastery, it's a fantastic 5-point monastery. You still have one more meeple left. You have points for extra value over here. You have squares for extra value over here. It's a no-brainer. So I think things are starting to head the Dutchman's way, and I like how he's playing. What I do not like is that I've lost Nick, so I'm gonna take some time to get him back. All right, it looks like I have Nick back. I'm gonna turn your sound on in just a second. You may speak, Nick. You were all here.
Thanks. Yeah, so very disappointed to not see the block happening with the triple city. It was a very strange move.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, the I was about to say Hungarian. I don't know, the Dutch player not heeding to Nick's advice, and here comes the ring roads. Well, not now, but it looks like yellow might be able to untangle. Well, at least he's gonna lose one meeple, so that works out for the Dutchman, and probably he might even drop a farmer already. And now this meeple becomes sort of vulnerable. Maybe a little bit. Maybe now Freddy tries to block
I'm
red
guessing this
as a
this was actually
revenge.
the I guess this was actually Red's plan, but it was very lucky to actually be able to complete this block in
That's true. Yeah.
5 moves or whatever it was. Because now there's no crazy fight for the ruin. Red can easily drop a meeple in to try and overtake this 11-point ruin or whatever it is. So
Well, have a look, Nick, at this unmeepled 6-point monastery. It just hurts me to look at that.
I mean, maybe Yellow is thinking that since the field is still available, it'll be worth more.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it's
there's a
not worth
6-point
more.
field versus a 6-point monastery where you can get your meeple back, and a 6-point field where you can't get your meeple back. Well, one thing that is true is that there are many city caps still in the game, so there's a potential to make a large field, but then you have to
But because
spend your meeples somewhere.
because sometimes you want to use the monastery. I mean, obviously not in this situation because there is only 2 cities, but sometimes you'd rather get a 6-point or 9-point farm from a monastery and deny the other player the possibility to get those points, or forcing them to commit a meeple or two to join or overtake. So, but I think here in this situation, it would have been a better move going for the risky.
You look at that greed, and it will work out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, you know what? This time, I do believe that yellow counted the number of straight lines, figured out that there are only 3 straight lines remaining, and that he has a reasonable chance of snatching this road, and it works. And now he's going to drop a farmer as well, which it surprised me that he didn't. But have a
Uh,
look how yellow's turning this around, because the opening seemed to be going very well for red with this successful block and all these tempo moves, but what a takeover. And
uh,
now probably it looks like it's I told you, like, Catalonia always finds a way somehow. I mean, it's too early to call it, of course, but
and we're halfway through the game.
yeah.
Red has a meeple blocked. Uh,
Yellow has a meeple blocked. I think my
Yellow.
disease is contagious. Sorry about that, Nick.
Oh, but so now he commits 2 meeples to. I mean, I do that too. So
Yeah,
can't,
I think that that's a must. There's still so many
yeah.
city caps remaining in the game, that you just
Oh
have
yeah,
to
he
clean them
yeah
off.
he got all the meeples back. I guess I'm still in the mindset that he. Oh,
Oh, tempo move, 3 points next to the monastery. Take it, take it, take it, take it. Because
yeah,
obviously you can't. Well,
I think
yeah,
no, I think he will try and save the city.
I think he will do that too. I wouldn't do that, but I think he will do that too.
Well, there's only one triangle that has been played, so it's very finishable. But but yeah, like whatever Red now does, it won't secure the city, and then maybe it will have been a wasted move. So
Exactly. So I'd say 4 points is better. Also, there are not this many blocking tiles remaining. There are lots of like triangle, simple city caps. Mind you, all 5 simple city caps are still in the game. So Red has good equity to save a city without trying to. Uh, of course,
yeah,
like
so it was for
you're so astute that you knew what Red's gonna do.
I think if you play so much like you and me do, we kind of realize what kind of moves certain players might do.
Oh, you know what? You know what would be, I think, great content? Do you know that many chess YouTubers have a game that's
Oh, like
called
guess
Guess
the
the Elo?
elo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guess the Elo. Basically, so for all of you, I assume maybe probably many of you, most of you don't play chess. Is that it's a show where, based on the games, a grandmaster is trying to tell like what were the ratings of the players involved, and then they get surprised because like either too high or too low. For Carcassonne, that would be amazing to try out.
Yeah, so now Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a great idea. Yeah, there's
Well,
actually a page on GitHub where you can play the game. It's if you just Google guess the oh no, it's guess the eval. So you guess what the computer thinks the evaluation of the game is. Um, it's I guess it's kind of fun if you're into that kind of
yeah, I'm
into features. Yeah.
I definitely. I mean, I'm probably gonna pass just not to develop any further addictions, but it certainly sounds like something that I do. In the meantime, I guess Ivan is debating whether to finally finish his monastery or start attacking the ruin, or possibly even just calmly start a new city. Possibly drop a field meeple, which I do not think is going to do because both players had the chance to drop a meeple a long time ago. I'm pretty sure Marian would have done this on his first move when they're no cities here at all, but there are at least 3 cities coming here because there's still many triangles that fit over here, and
And
even
maybe
one
maybe
divider, which
four
would
with
make it
the
four
with the
cities
splitter. Yeah.
exactly. So whichever player gets the splitter is in a position to make a powerful move.
I
So
think what I would play here is probably either attack the ruin or play at the very bottom left, city facing upwards and place a farmer, if that makes sense. Or I don't know, finishing the monastery. I don't know, finishing the monastery, you kind of yeah. So someone's watching the stream. Um, because if you finish the monastery, you either leave a 3-point road or a city cap. I don't know. And you're not kind of at a meeple emergency. You have three. I guess you had 4 meeples at the time. So
I'm just gonna put a little teaser over here for everybody to see. Let's yeah, so like we place over here and farmer. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna quit playing around and just get back to proper commenting. Thanks for doing this for me, Nick.
no, I'm pretty sure people would have figured it out. But yeah.
No, it just looks, I think, visually appealing.
Mm. But yeah, now yellow will hope to get a city cap and then meeple. It's maybe it's gonna end up being a big field fight. So now red is probably thinking about placing a farmer on the top that can like be bent into the field to the right. And no, I guess my suggestion would have been one position left to that and place a farmer. Because it looks like it's gonna be a decent field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay, so now red will place a farmer. Yeah.
And then red will just hope for the divider.
Well, well, now red will hope for 2 curves to connect into the field.
Well, that's a 25% chance because there are only 2 curves remaining. There are also monasteries with the road. One has extra value of getting this 2 points. I think it's not a bad farmer at all. If anything, I would just done all these farmer moves earlier.
No, I wasn't saying it's a bad move. I'm saying like this is like a valid move, and I think the player will play it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. Maybe let's just try and most like predict what's going to happen because it's quite fun. And now a farmer goes here. Okay. I'm not very good at predicting. I think you just drop a farmer here just to kill off all these spots. Also, given how far red is behind, despite I'd say his very impressive opening play.
Yeah, kind of. It's a tale of two halves here. Very good start and maybe a bit reckless placing the city out like that, but okay.
Possibly, yeah, and you have to snatch it off in about 3 seconds. Well, actually, not true. Don't do anything in 3 seconds.
Well, no, because like here you could place a farmer, right? There's still some monasteries left to make a big farm.
I know, but 8 points.
Yeah, but
Eight
then
points.
okay, so right, okay, I mean yellow is ahead by 23. 4, 5, 6. Yellow's ahead by 26 points. So yeah, and the farm will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, so like no, the farm will be like 20 in the 20s. So I don't know.
But you need to have a few more points. If, for example, you just need to clean off a city cap just so that yellow doesn't get it. An extremely unfortunate tile,
Yeah,
just because he gets
because
to.
one thing is also the ruin is worth 11 points. So whoever gets the farm and the ruin wins. Or no, let's put it that way. If red somehow manages to get the farm and the ruin win, but now
And that's
this
possible. That's absolutely possible. Because, red does have the nominal meeple advantage. And even when yellow will do what he's going to do, would take 3 points next to red cities over here, there are still going to be a divider left in the game.
yeah, then
And a bunch of triangles. So this city will still be live. Like, the game's going on.
but just to get back to that comment about predicting moves, I think that's also like a secret or I don't know, strategy or whatever to playing fast is by thinking whatever the opponent will be doing, whether it's the best move or not. It's like to be debated, but kind of trying to figure out what the opponent will do, and then being able to react, kind of like, oh, okay, if the opponent will place a farmer there, then I'm gonna do this, and then I don't have to think for 30 seconds or whatever to make my move, and then put the pressure back on the opponent, right? So, and yeah.
Exactly, that's an excellent point. So do remember that tip. I think also in other games it's quite similar. I mean, obviously in chess you need to predict how your opponent's going to move, and then you can calculate that, and even several moves ahead. In poker, if you're checking, then you kind of, especially in online poker, you need to know whether you are check raising, check folding, or check calling, kind of before you do that, and then you can just have your um, answer instantly. But then the question is, in Carcassonne, Nick, what do you do when the player surprises you and does not play the best move?
Well, no, so that's what I'm saying. You don't. So, for example, here, I'm not sure if that farmer was the best move, but I just kind of instinctively knew that that's what was going to happen. And it's like the longer the person thinks, the more I have to kind of adjust my thinking of what they will do, right?
Good point, because this probably means that they might do something else than what is their first instinct.
Mm. I'm surprised no one's kind of defending the ruin, maybe. So like yellow, if I were yellow, I would probably either kill off the ruin or attack it. Especially I mean, not maybe not with this tile, but in the past couple of moves.
I think it was possible to attack it at some point. If I
Yeah,
were yellow, I would probably do it at some point. Actually, how about doing this now? Oh, this is better. Yeah, this is also good. Although there is a divider still in the game, but
yeah.
now a divider is needed in 2 places.
Well, no,
So
you don't need the divider in that shared city in the middle. You just need a city to finish a triangle to finish it.
yeah, but a divider gives like 6 field points as opposed to 3. So that's sort of the
Of
thing.
course, of course, yeah. But now I guess red will attack the ruin. Yeah, it's not looking good for red now, to be honest. Okay, I'm just noticing that both road monasteries are still there. So maybe if red gets lucky and gets, yeah, exactly trying to pre-build this is exactly what I was hinting at. He's gonna farm it. No, okay, he's not gonna farm it. I yeah, actually red maybe that was like one of the only ways red could win to put a farmer there, get quick 9 points, assuming that draws the monastery first.
Or maybe he can
Uh,
still win, because then like he will have the majority, right? It will just a +1 majority, but he's still the favorite to win the field due to his meeple advantage.
oh, yeah. For whatever reason, I kind of ignored that yellow didn't fight for the farm more. Yeah, it's interesting.
And that's
Okay, but now,
understandable, actually. I think yellow's doing in general, what they have to do, they have to find a fieldless win condition, and just as about to said that they defied me. I think 4 points at the top were crucial because, like, if yellow can afford to lose this field, that would be fantastic for them. Now probably yellow needs to fight a field battle where they have worse odds.
I realized recently in your streams, or maybe it's just because I haven't like watched the whole streams sometimes, you so I don't know if it's recent or it's always been like that, but you've become very obsessed with this meeple farmless win condition, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's just such a powerful tool, which is often neglected, I think. Because then, obviously, you can fight for the farm, and sometimes you have to, sometimes you win. But if you can find a way how you can win without the field while your opponent has already those meeple committed, then it's you. If that exists, it's usually 100%, and then your opponent just can't do anything about that because they already committed their meeples
Like
to the
like
farm, and they're just so helpless. It's just so awesome.
like in the first game, actually, yeah, when there was the 18-point farm and it wasn't gonna help the other player finishing it.
Exactly. But then, of
But I
course,
guess like
there's also the. Yeah, sorry?
it's just like every game is different, right? So like sometimes um it's just not about the farm sometimes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, probably the reason why I talk about this that often, it's not because it's such a crucial component of my game. I mean, it's not the. I hope it's not the only way how I can win Carcassonne games. At least, sometimes I do get a majority in the field. Moreover, sometimes I overfarm. Instead of fighting for the field, I sometimes do like Marin, just drop 2 field meeples in the start and start dropping city caps and blocking your opponent's field connections. So, again, it depends on the situation. However, it seems to me that in modern day Carcassonne, it's still something that is frequently overlooked, especially by maybe players who have not yet achieved the master level. So,
Oh, lucky.
well, there were still tiles like this.
Yeah,
Two
well, like
actually. One
really,
actually.
really needed that one. Um,
Yeah, and he's gonna get it. And he's gonna get it.
so that's 13 points, but it's yeah, so it's still need the field. Oh, but
Not quite enough.
well, the
But you know what he
divider.
could do? He could somehow prevent the yellow meeple from joining, and just about as I said that, it looks like it's not gonna happen. But then maybe red can hope for some quick 9 points.
Such as the monastery.
Yeah.
That
Or red can just go all out on the field and drop this guy over here right up top on the left. Maybe that will work. Because red still has out of getting meeple back. Drop a farmer here, connect over here, then drop a monastery, win the field and the ruin. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but it's
I guess
certainly a move that he's considering.
red kind of needs the divider, right, to split off the city and then have an extra farmer, extra meeple. Hmm. But yes, speaking of obsessions, for a while, my obsession was to get a very low statistic in the meeples remaining, and I think I got the lowest ever that I've ever seen. At least was it 0.14 on average. So that's an open challenge for anyone who's keen.
That is about half of my statistic. And check this out, Ivan is going all out on the field.
Yeah, but now he doesn't have so now what is he gonna do? Is he gonna take the point, or is he gonna?
Maybe.
Oh, he could like turn it to make it into a triangle connection to the city and block 4 quick points from that city cap, but I don't know if that's any good.
I love that actually. I think that works. Or he could also defend the field connection on the right.
Oh no, he's pre-building the 9 points.
Yeah, so he just hopes for a lot. He hopes that he is the first one who gets the meeple back.
Oh yeah, yes.
Well,
Okay, so now I'll
okay.
take 2 points.
And he should be okay with creating another field connection just because that field connection is too vulnerable. But I think with that move, maybe there was an alternative somewhere. 2 points.
Okay.
2 points.
That was it, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Why would you waste
What?
such a?
Wait, what?
I can see why. Like, he just didn't want to
Okay,
leave
so
the field. Oh, he's now gonna get punished for that.
Oh, if he gets the
He's gonna get the monastery. He's gonna get the monastery and some kind of stuff over here. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are no city caps left, right? There are no simple city caps. Oh, that's true.
Talk about high variance. Okay, so now, I mean, it's still 26 points ahead on the board. 15, so 11, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. It's just not enough.
Actually, this move over here by yellow does make sense because it makes sure that there's not going to be a big field at the very least.
Yeah, so now, wait, so red has two farmers in that field, and yellow has 2 farmers in that field, and that one farmer just cannot enter. Ooh, but no.
Somebody's saying that you have the when it comes to your meeple count at the end of the game, you have the lowest ever.
Indeed. I mean, it's really rare to see people have it below 0.2, to be honest. I think I can only think of having seen it once. I think Mikhail Rus had it for a while. And yeah, I do think it makes a difference.
Well, that's because also Mikhail Rus drops his last meeple as a farmer 20 tiles before the end. That's one of my first videos on this channel. It's a bit iffy, but if you're interested, you can watch that. It's called it's just called, yeah, I don't remember how it's called, but it's one of my first videos.
Yeah, but that goes back to the comment I made earlier about the games where we play a meeple on each move, and it kind of forces you to really squeeze out every single point. Okay, so now everyone gets lucky. So what does that mean now? It's still too short, right? So plus 9 points.
So yeah, I mean he's gonna get the 9 points, actually, which are only 6 points effectively. So that's a bit unfortunate for him.
If he had one more move, maybe he could have somehow.
Yeah, he needed 2 tiles to connect, which is why I think he should have saved this connection a bit earlier. But what do we do here? I guess we stake the 6 points and live with it, but we still lose.
It's probably over it. 2, 3, 4. But is there a?
There was actually a path to victory, kind of.
Is there a horizontal divider left? One?
That would be something, but I don't think so.
1, 2,
No. 1,
3.
2, 3.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I could have come up with right now.
It's really just the city cap that he wants.
Oh, but is there a curve left? You can go for at the bottom. You can try and enter the field.
That's
and get
true.
12
It's
points.
still only 12 points though.
So what's the count right now? So it's 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 34. 25. No, yeah, it's
I
not
count
enough.
17.
Yeah, I don't have the perfect count, but it's nowhere close to 0. So yeah. Is a draw possible? I mean, no, yeah.
No, I don't think so. That would.
Oh, but no, yeah. There's only 2 tiles remaining. So one of the tiles is a. Is it a triangle? 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. No more triangles left.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Just gotta move the map a little bit just so everybody can see over here. Yeah, nothing, no real field connections over here, guys. But I can tell you this, the only thing that Red is dreaming right now is just more tiles and more moves, because he gained some momentum, but he's just probably going to run out of time. Not physical time, but metaphorical time, as there's a number of moves. I was wondering, I was thinking about it, what if Carcassonne had a Joker tile? Like
I was thinking it would make sense to just remove one of the tiles. Every game there's a different tile missing. So, but I don't know. Then it would just kind of add even more randomness to the game, and I'm more for less randomness. So I think it's probably fine as it is.
Oh, we can discuss that. Yeah, so you mean to negate the first player's advantage so that instead of 71 tiles to play, there's 70 tiles to play. We draw a random tile that does not participate in the game, and both opponents get to see it before the start so they can still
Oh, I would have said you
calculate
don't
almost
get
all
to see it.
effectively.
I would have said you don't get to see it.
But then it's really just too much luck.
Oh,
I think it's
okay, yeah.
best when they do get to see it.
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. For whatever reason, I never considered that. You know, then
Then
yeah,
you're still gonna go back to advocating for that.
yeah, I think it's fine as it is. It's just like, well, someone has to, because then you could argue that the starting player still has an advantage anyway, right?
A much smaller one, and it's negated by the fact that the other player gets to put the last tile, and the person that gets to put the last tile has important decisions to make. For example, they get to win certain field standoffs. You know, when there's a big field and there are a few meeples nearby and you're not sure, like, do you want to connect your meeple and make a larger field and then lose 3 points for a city which is scored twice, or do you want to stay put and hope that your opponent doesn't connect? And in those standoffs, your opponent typically has, well, the last person to play typically has the advantage.
Yeah, I agree.
So now the player with the red meeples gave up and just took the maximum number of points possible.
So now what would you do with that tile? And you know what I would do.
I know. Well, actually, there's only one correct move. You can take 5 points.
And where's 5?
You add it to your ruin and you take a 4-point road.
Oh, on top. Yeah, okay.
On the left, yeah.
Yeah. So if there was only 4 points available, what would you do?
Of course, I would take the city. You would take the road. Just to doctor your stats.
It's not doctoring.
And get some online points to feel good about yourself.
Exactly. It's all just about the internet points.
Yeah, you've become the very thing you were criticizing. All right.
So yeah, my or our prediction was correct.
Exactly. So it was a very close match, and Catalonia always miraculously finds a way to edge it out, which I'm wondering why people didn't bet on Catalonia in their predictions. Barely anybody bet on them in the top 4, and I'm pretty sure they will be in the top 4. It just doesn't matter who the next opponent is. They will somehow win again.
I did. I think I put them 4th.
Oh, good for you. So, I guess I can just already ship to you the Carcassonne 20-year edition game.
And it's actually amazing that Catalonia are doing so well without their 2 master player.
Whoops! Check what we both missed, and the red player missed. There was a 6-point field at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
So, well, it's not much of a consolation. Ivan would have lost -10 instead of -12. But thank you, our viewers, for being astute.
It shows that we have no skin in the game here.
Yeah, exactly. We have to do some soul searching.
or
Man, I
not.
was I was quite happy how we calculated everything in Zwali's game with like all the percentages and tiles, but here like an obvious 6 point field.
It's very hot in London right now, so maybe that's it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna find another excuse. Of course, it's hot
Yeah.
in Cambridge as well, and I've been working all day. Yeah. Oof. Ivan is writing whether he gave it away. I don't think so necessarily. Maybe there were some things that could have been done, like to just gain some better probabilities for this connection. But overall, the idea was really really nice. So yeah, well played both, and
Very entertaining games.
congratulations to Catalonia.
Yeah. And we were able to see, I feel like many more games than you normally stream, like four. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Well,
It's because no,
definitely.
you always stream like Matt or Chris's games that take the whole stream. So yeah.
Well, lucky for you in that sense, the UK is no longer the championship, so uh, no more Chris's games this year.
Well, no, maybe if there's a European thing, we might be in there. So yeah.
Alrighty, I guess let's just yeah, let's just talk a bit for a while. Let's just pull up the brackets and
So my prediction for the bracket is still possible.
absolutely.
I guess
But
this was the first game. So did you do some stats about like which country was predicted the most or something like that?
not yet. I'm planning to, but well, RCP and Japan really. Those are kind of the top two contenders. I mean, I'm talking prediction wise. Lots of bets on China as well. Surprisingly, few bets on Mexico and the United States. I would, well, maybe because they have to face RCP, but I think this could be it. Like, it's not a guaranteed victory for RCP, regardless of who wins the Mexico United States pairing, because they had a very hard time against Mexico in 2021, no, in 2020 World Championship playoffs, coming back from 0-2 and then winning 3-2 on, not without some coin flips, really.
Yeah, it goes back to what I was saying at the very start that a year or two ago there was clear favorites, and now, and I think the more years will go by, this kind of clear favorites are going to vanish. But I mean, amazingly, Japan, who I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but they kind of completely revamped their team and are still probably the favorites. So that's
I think so, yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised if somebody stops them before the final. Although Team
well, the
Spain
semi.
have given some surprises, some unpleasant surprises to both you and me.
I guess, yeah. But then the RCP will face them in the semifinal, right? So I think that's probably the final to me. But
I guess so. And I mean, just to me, it's hard to see Japan not in the final, no matter who the opponent is. And also, they now getting used to board game arena. These new players, they have increased their elo as well, and they still have three previous players from the previous from the previous squad.
mm, I guess I didn't pay too much attention to the other groups. Whoop.
Well, also interestingly, we're going the other bracket. Is the bottom bracket is going to be filled by a team that has never been in the final.
That's
Uh,
true.
yeah. So Catalonia, Portugal, despite Portugal's very strong performance, like just Catalonia has this rabbit out of a hat thing, and I don't know what Portugal would need to do to defeat that. Okay, we're gonna try and prioritize that in our streaming schedule so that we get to see Portugal, Catalonia. A strong Belgium could definitely give a surprise to the Chinese team or the Taiwanese team, whoever wins their battle. However, it will be a new test for them because they've mostly played European and yeah, they mostly played European teams in their groups, and they're just a different playing style. I'm not sure how they're gonna adjust to the East Asian game with lots of blocking, lots of grueling mini battles, and less open positions typically. All right. Yes, Raf, I did find your prediction. I got it registered. I'm pretty sure I have everybody's prediction. I'm gonna publish a list, I guess, and if yours is missing, then do scream about it. Catalonia, Belgium is not an impossible semi-final at all. Although, of course, China and Taiwan either of them will be formidable opponents. It's about time that we're going to start wrapping up. So if anybody has pressing questions to Nicolas Basty, who goes by the screen name Ever on Board Game Arena, then let us know in the next few seconds. But other than that, I will see you on Sunday for sure. On one of the other playoff games, we haven't quite figured out which one or which ones, but it is happening. Alrighty, thank you very much, Nick, for joining, and everybody watching. Just remember to meeple that like button again before leaving, and to subscribe to this channel if you intend to view these kind of streams more than once. And thank you very much for watching, and I'ma see you soon.
Bye.